Oh, I love to live in Chesterfield, especially in spring or summer when the sun does shine and all the robins sing. In fall we love to drive around when trees put on their show. Oh, I love to live in Chesterfield, the greatest town I know. But now the winter wind blows cold as we gather here together. So if you want to live in Chesterfield, better wear an extra sweater. Woo! Downtown Chesterfield, you are there. Welcome. We're very fortunate on stage here to have a couple of wonderful musicians. One of the great cello players, I think it's Haydenville, or representing Haydenville, Stephen Katz on cello. And all the way from the northern parts, Worthington, Mass., Professor Peter McLean on dobro. All right, these guys are up here saying, they're just kind of warming up. We're gonna catch up here. Peter had a tough time keeping a train of thought going, so I thought we'd do a train song. And you want to start us out? Yep. I'd like to thank you for being here. Actually, I'd like to also thank Pete's parole officer for letting me be here today. Baby. She's here. Yeah, good. We're at the New Hingham Elementary School. Thank you for letting us be here today. It's a great venue. People don't always understand. We're in Chesterfield, but why do they call it New Hingham? So just a brief history. How did this school get its name? This is a true story. You can look this up. It was 1690. It was the Battle of Quebec. It was being fought between France and England. Quebec at the time was the capital of New France, which was now Canada. A Massachusetts land force was gathered together and they went to St. Lawrence to attack and take over Quebec. It was a total disaster, absolutely disaster. They were bombarded by the French. They were totally decimated. Records at the time state that they were suffering from cold and complaining of a shortage of rum. Needless to say, they made a retreat, and the troops hopped on 7 ships and they sailed back to Massachusetts. But one ship, it was filled with soldiers from Hingham, Massachusetts. It got lost, and it's because men don't ask for directions. And sure enough, they got lost. They got stranded at the mouth of the St. Lawrence on a little island, Anacostia Island. They had to spend the entire winter on this little island and wait until spring to be rescued. So they didn't ask directions. One of the diaries about a pilot for one of the ships was described as not only an ignorant, pretending, idle, drunken fellow, but he has come upon no good design. So that's before GPS, back in 1690. Well, after the King Philip's War and many things later, the Hingham soldiers and all their descendants were granted and awarded land out in this area. And of course, they called it New Hingham. So this whole area was called New Hingham. And then by 1762, enough of the land was settled so that the settlers incorporated. And the new plantation called New Hingham, lying in the county of Hampshire, was incorporated into a town by the name of Chesterfield. So we're New Hingham because men don't ask directions. You can Google that. It's all true. Yeah. Woo. Today we're ringing in the new year. We'd like to thank the Council on Aging for hosting this today. And the director, Jan Dubois, is right here. Can you say something? Something profound?
I want to thank you all for coming and thank all the people on the COA board. Many of you are here and have put in a lot of effort in making this event happen. And it started 4 years ago, and we thought, we talked about having something with potluck dishes that in many cultures mean good luck for the new year. Our best good luck was getting in touch with Jim. And then we thought we'd get music, and then Jim and the musicians got together and decided they wanted to donate money to the Northampton Survival Center, and most specifically to the, I just went out of my head. The food
Welcome.
bank.
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah, well anyway. That's right, the Hilltown Pantry. And they in turn provide a lot of the food we get from the food bank and other places for older people in Chesterfield. So it's a circle, and it's a great circle, and I want to thank everyone for coming.
Yes, thank you. We're going to have Heidi come up. She's the head of the food pantry and the Northampton Survival Center. I was also going to answer, I had gathered a few questions from the audience earlier. What is the range of a harmonica? And the answer, of course, is, well, 20 yards if you have a good arm. A couple more questions, just because this was a erudite and inquiring audience. They asked, what do Heidi's banjo and a lawsuit have in common? Everybody's relieved when the case is closed. No? All right, one last one. This is a tough crowd here. The question was, what's the difference between a banjo player and a savings bond? The answer is, well, eventually a savings bond will mature and earn money. So Heidi, if you haven't figured out, is a banjo player, and she's going to be playing with us shortly. But at the moment, I'd like to just say something about the food pantry.
I'm behind you now.
Good luck.
Thanks, James. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm not going to yell, so I'm using the microphone, but I just wanted to welcome you here and thank you for coming. We took a risk this year in moving to a new location because last year it was standing room only. I'm glad everybody has seats, and I'm glad you found us, and you can help us spread the word for next year. Hopefully we'll be here again. So I don't want to start with a lot of thanks, except that that's what my heart is filled with today, because this is always represented from Jan and the Council on Aging. just an amazing coming together of the community. I think James's vision originally was to ring in the new year in a way that brings people together, celebrates what we have, which is community, music, food, togetherness, and to put that spirit and those donations to work at the Hilltown Pantry. So I'm delighted to have a community to do that with today. If you didn't get a chance to sign in, the Council on Aging and the Survival Center would be very glad to have your name and your account of who's here. And if you get a chance to make a donation, if you haven't already, at the door, it will all be used at the Hilltown Pantry to feed our neighbors. The Hilltown Pantry is in Goshen. It feeds 10 communities in the northern Hilltowns. It's directed by our wonderful Diane Meehan over here in the back, and a round of applause for Diane. Diane's been with the Pantry now for, I think, 25 years and does a tremendous job there with a number of volunteers, some of whom are here today, and including young people who are featured in the newsletter. The newsletter is all about the Hilltown Pantry, so be sure to pick one up and read all about it. And I want to make one plug to you, which is if you're moved by what the Pantry does, and if you feel like being here today and celebrating this community spirit is something that is easy for you to do, if you wrote a check for $5 or $10 or $20 to come, I ask you just to think, is that something I could do every month? If $10 is not difficult to do, I encourage you to consider joining our Bread and Butter Club. That's a club of monthly givers, or it can be weekly. We can arrange with you how that happens through a credit card or through your bank transaction. But it's a way of spreading your warm feelings about our work throughout the year in a really easy way that continues to remind you what we're all about and to make you feel good about helping your neighbors. So if you haven't had a chance to donate yet, or if you'd like to join the Bread and Butter Club, Amy at the front welcome table or Diane there in the back has a little form and you can fill that out. So sit back, eat, enjoy the music. I promise I won't play the banjo for very, very long now that James has teased me. No, I'm just kidding, I'm new. And thanks to the musicians, to everybody for putting this together.
What helps a teacher get through the day? Because I know it has to keep people going when they're trying to put the food pantry thing going, or putting this on. What do we do? What's the teacher's tonic? What wholesome helper? What liquid lift? What beverage boost? What royal refresher? What steaming stimulant can help through the day? So I thought we'd do something to remind what gets us all through that day. Professor, would you help me? Coffee! The greatest thing you've ever seen. A ground dark roasted coffee bean, strong coffee. Strong coffee, oh yeah. Drink it hot, poured on ice, a morning jolt that feels real nice. Talking coffee, lots of coffee. But now the coffee's screaming, the temples pound. I ain't slept 2 days, can't come down. Coffee, maybe too much coffee. Heads are shaking, dynamo cries. Thoughts are racing, electricity flies. Coffee, talking way too much coffee. Now toes keep tapping, can't sit still. Time is money, gotta get my fill with coffee. Drink too much coffee. So no more coffee. Less coffee. Less coffee. Decaf the rest of the day. Thank you. The day brought to you by Many Cups of Coffee. I'd like to bring a good friend of us all representing the fine Cummington, our next door neighbor. Cummington, fine, I was going to say city, town, I guess. Josh what?
He's a harmonica player. So this is for him and for you.
Anybody, I tend to walk. Anybody who's seen me, I go up and down 143 South, East Street, so I thought we'd do a little walking blues.
If you want.
called 44 Years. I rode down the highway 44 years to the day. Hard times I've been through, no city I ain't been to. You know, I miss it someday. It's the roar of the engine, the whining of the wheel, pushing 10 forward gears, Lord, I love how it feels. But the roads they got longer, now a young man who's stronger sits in my place at the wheel. Nighttime would find me with Louisville behind me. Had to reach Milwaukee by dawn. With the sea beside me, past Smokies it would guide me. In no time the miles would be gone. It's the roar of the engine, the whining of the wheel, pushing 10 forward gears, Lord, I love how it feels. But the roads they got longer, now a young man who's stronger sits in my place at the wheel. Long hauls weren't easy with the traffic and the hills, but the highway was my way to pay all those bills. So another cup of coffee, another 100 miles or more, I'll get home to my family, my wife smiling at the door. It's the roar of the engine, the whine of the wheel, pushing 10 forward gears, Lord, I love how it feels. But the roads they got longer, now a young man who's stronger sits in my place at the wheel. I rode down the highway 44 years to the day. Hard times I've been through, no city I've been to. You know, I miss it someday. You know, I really miss it someday. Lord, I really miss it someday. Thank you. We're going to try a John Prine song. I came home from work this evening. There was a note on the frying pan. It said, "Fix your own supper, baby. I'll run off with the full bunch of man." Now it's the words.
This is called What the Blind Man Saw. Well, one bright day in the middle of the night, two dead boys got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, drew their swords and shot each other. A deaf policeman heard the noise and came and killed those two dead boys. One bright day in the middle of the night. Well, as I was walking up the stair, I saw a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. How I wish he'd go away.
flowers, consoling with the rain. And in my head, I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching. If I only had a brain, I'd unravel every riddle for any little trouble or in pain. With the thoughts I'd be thinking I could be another president. If I only had a brain, oh, I could tell you why. The ocean's near the shore, I could think of things I'd never known before. And then I'd sit and think some more. Gosh, it would be awful pleasing to reason out the reason for things I can't explain. Maybe then I deserve you and even worthy of you. If I only had a brain, if I only had
first stage I ever performed on when I graduated back in 2004 from Nothampton, so it's good to be home. rose-colored glasses, or happy filters, if you will. And I would like to dedicate this to my new husband, Nick, because every day with you is La Vie en Rose.
Wow. Husband, sit right there.
Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic spell you cast, it is La Vie en Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see La Vie en Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be La Vie en Rose. Deux yeux qui fait buzzer la mienne, Henri qui s'épaisse sur la bouche, voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, aimant tous les jours, et quand il fait quelque chose, il est entré dans mon cœur, où n'est pas le bonheur, non, je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi pour lui dans la vie. Il paye la nuit, la journée pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. C'est lui pour moi pour lui dans la vie. Il met la nuit, la journée pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat.
Our third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders, sixth graders, and mid-generation leader. My name is Susan Hatfield. We're going to play for you Ring It In to celebrate our New Year, and then just a little version of Beethoven's Ninth Chorus, Joyful, Joyful. Can I have your T and your A?
lyrics are being passed around for a very familiar song, but there's so many verses that it seemed like it might be helpful to have everybody be on the same page. It's "This Land is Your Land," and we do hope that everybody will sing along. I'm going to get us started. James alluded to my beginning banjo skills. So, you know, the best way to put a performer at ease is to make fun of the entire instrument and genre, so thanks, James. And I just want to say again, I don't know if this is going to be our last song or not, but I want to thank people for coming and for supporting the Hilltown Pantry and our neighbors. Anybody can be in need at any time, and we like to erase the divisions between you and me and they. We're all in this together. The Hilltown Pantry is a great representation of that. And this song is too. So please join in, whether singing is your first love or your greatest fear. You don't have the microphone in front of you. I'm going to do 2 verses just with banjo and whistling, and then I'm going to go like that to you.
Okay.
And that will mean everybody start singing in, okay?
Okay.